Hi, welcome to Thursday. Again, the time is slipping away from us. So we're going to do pot caps today. So I'm just ironing them, the bit of fabric. Need to make sure it's hot enough, the iron. So how are you all? I'm okay. I am ready for the weekend, I think. I'm going up to Birmingham tomorrow afternoon. My friend is 60, so we're going to go up and they're having a party. So I'm going up to Birmingham for a party. So that'll be nice. I'm really looking forward to it. I do enjoy it. I mean, she's probably one of my oldest friends. I've got school friends, but I met Marie out of school when we were at the drinking stage. This is going to sound really bad. We met when we were 15 at a nightclub. Those were in the days where they didn't really want to see your birth certificate or anything to go drinking. I used to go into the one pub. They sold milk on draft. And I'd buy a pint of milk and come out of there a bit squiffy because I drank everybody else's drinks. I was shifty, I suppose you could say at that age. So there we go. Hi everyone. Hi Leslie, how are you? And Eileen. Oh, where's my cursor? So Leslie was the first one in. Eileen, Jean, and Ali. How are you, Ali? I'm looking forward to November to seeing you. So we're doing pot caps. What is a pot cap, Sarah Jane? I hear you ask. So these are these. So remember I said I needed something to use the circle out of my witch's hats. Well, I found a use for them. So these are, I mean, I was cutting an 8-inch circle because remember that fitted me. You remember those days. Yeah, I miss those days. I actually miss my 30s even. And it's a scary thought that those are 30 years ago. I mean, we used to go to the pub at lunchtime with the papers, 3 of us, and we would sit there until they threw us out. And we'd play games, we'd do the Telegraph crossword, we'd do Sudoku, you know, all of these things, watch the rugby if it was on. And it was probably only a very short period of time before Sarah had her youngest. And yeah, that's how we spent our Saturdays, because my kids didn't want me. My husband was working away, so we went to the pub. It was lush. So 8-inch circle. That's what I've made these from. Okay, so we're going to have a look at that. So hiya Carol and Sonia, I'm glad you're good. I've had a letter from your mum Ali to say her new address, and I keep thinking I'll send her a card, but I always remember at the wrong time. One day I'll remember. She'll have been in the house a year by the time I remember a welcome to your new home card. Right, okay, so what are we doing over here? So, hiya Maxine Elizabeth, that's a new name for me. Welcome to Thursdays, where everything goes, I was going to say tits up, but it doesn't always go tits up, does it? It becomes quite one of those things. Right, so I have a lining fabric. I've just pulled these out of, I think this is this a grunge? Yeah, this is a grunge. I've just pulled these out of the what have I pulled them out of? Out of the fat quarter box. Okay, you can make these from your scraps. Ideal to make them with your scraps for charity things, because they look quite cute. So I'm just putting these right sides together and hoping that I'm remembering doing it right. Now, in the video that I saw, they used normal interfacing, but I've used this, which is Insulbright, because I think if you're going to be picking up pots, you know, these are for picking up pots, you know, out the oven, or taking lids off things where some of them can be quite hot, taking a lid off or whatever, then I think you're going to need a bit of insulation in there. That was my thinking anyway. So we're going to put this insulation on the bottom, okay, like that. I've just cut a square, but it's all within this. So I'm now going to pin these together. If I can remember what we're doing, then we're all good, okay? So I'm going to pin those together like that. I actually made these and got round to making, it's not going to matter if I just use a normal pencil, is it? I actually got round to making bowl covers. Now I did a thing, it's just a little thing for you to sit your bowl in when you've microwaved your soup or your porridge. Now the last time I tried to make them, I tried to do a different pattern, and that one went all to cock. So this one, I went with the pattern that I used in the beginning of lockdown, and made new ones because they were starting to look a bit ratty. So I'm just cutting, no I'm not, I wasn't going to cut it out, I was going to sew on that. I was going to sew on that, wasn't I? So we'll just, if we just move this over, if I move this over and use a different colour, if I can find a different colour, what's this? Oh, there we are, there's a pink one. I was going to sew on the line rather than cut it. That's because I'm talking. So I'm just going to sew this on the line. I don't know what this pen is. There you go. So I'm going to cut that bit out like that, make it easier. There we go. So I'm going to sew on that line there. Right, let's go over there. So, hiya Susan, how are you? So we're making pot caps. So I'm going to sew on this line. So if I bring this round, it won't matter. So I've layered it up. I've got my outside fabric, my lining fabric, and some insulation. Now you could just use normal fleece, or you could use an interfacing if that's what you've got. There we go. So we're just going to go all the way around. You're going to see in a moment that it doesn't matter that we are not leaving a gap for turning. So 8-inch circle I've used, so you can use a dinner plate if needed. You could just put a dinner plate in there. So that's almost a circle that I've just sewn. There we go. I've got a bit of a kink in it. Where are we? Number 3. There we go. So we're just going to cut it out with a 1/4-inch seam allowance. Probably easier to do this with scissors at this point, but we're committed now. So you want like a quarter-inch seam allowance all the way round. There we go. So we now have a circle. Okay, so we're going to take that out, and we are going to cut it in half. Okay, so go along there. There we go, that's the middle. So we're going to cut that in half, just like that. And there we go. So now you see why you can do the full circle. So we're now going to pull it open, and we're going to then take our seams, okay, and put them together like that. So you've got your lining on one side, and you've got your outside on one side, and your lining and your lining and your interfacing, whatever it is that you've used. Sorry, my brain was trying to think of something else at the same time then. Now, yeah, last time I think I put that against the outside, which would make this a lot easier. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're going to put the two together, put a clip in that, okay, and we're going to sew now. We're going to sew from this side. It's a if you put the interface in touching the outside, it's better. I didn't even think of that because I did it automatically with these. So from your on your inside as well, you want to put in your thing. I wonder if I turn it that way round with a. Is that going to help? Will that make a difference? What we're going to do is we're going to do both of them at the same time, because this. No, I don't think it is. No. See, this is thinking on your feet, sir. Like that. Yeah, because I want to put a ribbon in there, and I want the ribbon to be more stable. So you're going to sandwich that in there like that. I'm going to put a pin in there. Am I still in camera view? Like that. There. So we need to pull all these up. So you draw the 8-inch circle and put the interface in, whatever you use. You're going to put it on so that it touches the main fabric. I'm going to pin there, and then we're going to pull it around, and we're going to leave a gap at the end for turning. Okay, so you do that just like that. Okay, and we're going to do it the other way around with this one, and we're going to have a look and see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to put that in there like that, pin that, I've got that there, and then we leave a gap from there. Right, let's take those over, and we're just going to sew from one end to our pin here with the gap, leaving it. Okay, so that would be number 4. Hiya Grace, how are you? When do you put the ribbon in? Right then. Hiya Patricia and Patty, how are you? If I've missed anybody, I'm awfully sorry. Right, so 1/4 inch-ish. Now the ribbon has gone in, and no, go backwards. I'm just going to go over it so that it went in right. We're going to sew to the end and turn it. So it just has like a normal corner there. There we go. So we've done the one that way and then this way. Gotta make sure that I catch everything in this one. And we're going to reverse. To the end. Turn it and take it to where I've put the pin. There we go. Right, see whether that's worked. So, hiya Margaret, how are you? Where are we? We're on number 3. So, we're going to take the pins out and we're going to turn them round the right way. So, I'll start with this one. So, if you get your finger in right to the normal corner. Now, I haven't cut the corner. So I'll push this one through like that, out through the little hole. We have had new fabrics in. Go and check the website out for one that's called Atelier, A-T-L-I-E, I don't know, Atelier, yeah, E-R. There's one called Deep Blue Sea and one called Prairie Gatherings. So I'm just rolling the seam here. So those are the 3 new ones that we've had in the last couple of days. Go and have a look at those. The Deep Blue Sea is a Macawa one. And it's lush. I was going to use the octopus. I wanted to use the octopus for this. Right, before I shove that in, we're going to want to close up my gap. So that gap is there. Remember this is going to be up the top inside. You're not going to see it. Let's turn this one. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Oh, hang on. It might do. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, you will. I thought that I'd done it so that you couldn't get through the lining. But I can. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I've got it. I got it. Now you could leave a bigger gap. But I hate turning gaps, so I tend to fight with it. It's a lot easier the other one than this one. Where's my lining? There it is. It's coming. The Atelier one has got buttons and sewing machines and tape measures, and the Deep Blue Sea has got whales and narwhals and all sorts of things. So this, we're going to just roll the edge, because while I'm over there I'll close it and we can top stitch it. Now ironing at this point probably be quite good. Yeah, I've got quite a lump there where the seams meet. It's better on the other one. There we go. Like that. So we now need to close this gap. And I'll pull the lining out so that it covers and then fold it over like that. There we go. Like that. Because I think the There you go. Like that. So we're just going to close that gap as well. Okay. Just going to take it over to the machine. I've got white in there, but you'll be able to see how I've done it. Like I say, it's all going to be hidden in there. You're not going to see it. So, there you go, that's one. And this one. Which is why you leave the gap in the lining bit, because it's all completely hidden then. There we go. So we've just closed up the gap. Let's chop off those bits like that. And oh, like that. Do you know, I was just thinking now, I don't know whether I've packed my lunch or whether I've left it on the dining room table for the dogs to pick up. Right, so that goes shoving up there. This one, you can pull, there we go, like that. And we're just going to top stitch and then they're done. So, Hiya Leslie, how are you? You've been shopping. What have you been buying? We are making pot caps, I've called them. They look like little hats. I wanted something to use. When I did the witch's hat last week, I said I've got all these perfect circles now. What do I use those for? So I found something that used them. So we're making pot caps. So to help you, if you're taking a casserole dish out of the oven or taking a lid off a saucepan. Is that a saucepan or a saucepan? I'm coming round to the end. There you go. Let's go back a couple of stitches. You could up your stitch here. These seem very small stitches. I wouldn't want to have to unpick this lot. So let me start here. I love this Snack Attack fabric. It's one of those ones that we thought was brilliant. So I've used it in a couple of things. It's very retro. Round to there. Let's go back. Oh, that'll do. And we have, look at this. This is, it's not even past yet and I'm finished. Made a change from the thing last time. So there we go. You just snip off your threads and you have 2 pot caps. Look at that. Pot caps. You could also use them as nipple tassels, I suppose. So there we go. 1 purple, 1 blue. All of them. So there you go. Little project, really quick. You could, if you're buying something kitchen wise for Christmas, you could put those in there, you know, or you could put them on gnomes. It could be a gnome hat. I think they're quite cute. So there you go. That's it. I'm finished. I'm done. You've been buying baby clothes for the new baby in the family. Oh, Oh, that's lovely. We had another lady in today who was doing a quilt. Her baby arrived early as well. So that's good that they're all doing well. We like to hear that, and we want to see all the things that you've been making for the baby. Right, that's me. I'm done. I'll see you next Thursday. Don't forget, Sarah is on Sewing Street on Sunday. We've got seminal pouches and pyramid pouches and fat quarters and mini charms and all sorts of things going on. We will see you next week, and have a brilliant weekend. See ya.